Hey everybody, it's time for another review. And like I said in my last video, these are going to be far in between because I got personal life. This is not an angry review. This is just a calm review. And again, with me getting ready to move to a new place, other projects I'm working on. It's short, sweet. It is, of course, The Legend of Zelda, The Phantom Hourglass. When I first was looking into playing games that I have never played before or have not beaten, this came up as one of my games that I was like, do I want to play it? Do I not want to play it? And I went on to a group and asked, is Phantom Hourglass worth playing? Because I myself, at the time, I had played Spirit Tracks, and I at first was on the fence about the whole using a stylus to move the character, and I still am. I mean, I don't know. I like having to control the character with a D-pad or a control stick. I'm a joystick guy, or a D-pad guy. When I first played games, you had joysticks or D-pads. You didn't have this touch stuff. But when I sat down, played it for a bit, I was amazed at how awesome this game was. The storyline takes place at the Wind Waker because Tetra, the protagonist, who is Zelda, spoiler alert if you guys haven't played Wind Waker, play it, trust me, has gone. You're coming from the first game, the Wind Waker, and there's this fabled ghost ship. Not the ghost ship from the game, from Wind Waker. This is a completely different game from Wind Waker. But it is a sequel. So, she steps aboard, and you hear a scream. And then you step aboard, and you're whisked off to the world of the Ocean King. Nothing to do with King Red Lions at all. You do get a boat, but it doesn't talk, and you can't control it like you did in Wind Waker. But that's okay. That's the beauty of it. So, just like Wind Waker, you're going through dungeons. You have this big, giant dungeon you have to go through every single time you complete a dungeon. You complete a dungeon, you go back there. It's called the Temple of the Ocean King. And I'm not going to go into detail about the character that you're with, but she's kind of like Navi a little bit. She does go, hey, listen, but she doesn't do it as often as she does, and I don't remember her name. It's not Navi, but there's a story to her, and there's a story to the guy you meet at the beginning of the game when you first set out on the world of the Ocean King. Osis, I think his name is Osius. Anyway, I go look this up. I'll be right back, and I'll give you guys the name of the character that Lil Farron talked about. I'll be right back. Okay, pardon if I don't get her name. pronounce her name right. Her name is Ciela. And Ciela she's like the fairy thing you could use in Twilight Princess. She kind of helps you roll around. And she's cool. Now, there is a few things about the game. First of all, the reason why it's called Phantom Hourglass is when you first enter the Temple of the Ocean King, you take damage because it drains you. And they even say it in the game. It will drain you over time. But after you complete the first temple, you get what's called the Phantom Hourglass, which has grains of sand that every time you fight a boss, you get it. You get more grains of sand. And that's kind of cool. As for the bosses, they're not generic. They are different from the original Legend of Zelda. There's nothing they're original. I'm not going to go into detail about how to beat them because I'm telling you guys, if you've not played the Legend of Zelda's Phantom Hourglass and want to, yeah, it's good. As for the boat itself, again, it doesn't talk, but you do meet up with the character who will help you along the way, and I'm not going to tell you what happens to him towards the end of the game, but it's kind of cool. And how the final boss is fought. I thought that was pretty cool. You get weapons, and at first I had a problem with using the weapons in the game, but then it grew on me. And just like in Wind Waker, you can't go to whatever island you want. So, you have to unlock it. That's why you have the Temple of the Ocean King. You go back there to unlock a new area. It's not unlocked. It's all in fog, and you have to fight bosses to get unlocked. But, just like in any other Zelda game, there are three things. There's spirits. Spirit of courage, spirit of power, and spirit of wisdom. All three are tied into the game, and it even has one of the best callbacks. And I'm not going to say what I'm not going to give any spoilers, but let's just say you might recognize one of the characters towards the end of the game. As, I don't know, maybe they were thinking about maybe making him into the Ocean King, but again, I was expecting what he looked like. I thought it was going to be some boat, but nope. He's awesome. As for the bosses, they take some getting used to, especially the final boss, which is this squid thing. And again, I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end, what you have to do to fight him, but let's just say it's pretty epic. There are 3 phases, and then you're done. The traveling, I kind of like it. You have to draw. It's a Stars game. You have to draw towards things. And you do get a cannon. You get to build your ship. Along the way, you get treasure, which you can use to upgrade your... No, excuse me, that's spirit tracks. In Phantom Hourglass, you get ship parts. You can use those ship parts, and at first, you have 4 hearts for your ship. But as you unlock ship parts, you can get more hearts, depending on if you picked out the parts from a set. Like, you can't just have, like, random parts and think, oh, I'm going to have more hearts. And yes, by the way, you do not want to have hearts on this game, in your ship. Because if you do, it's game over. You do get an arm. Oh yeah, you know the little arm you got in Wind Waker? You get that too. And it has hearts. Fortunately, if you break it, it's not game over, but you have to go repair it again. The enemies, I wouldn't say they're generic because, you know, it's Wind Waker. It's based off the Wind Waker game, so you're going to see Octos and Octoroks and you know, I was okay with that. I mean, I myself liked Wind Waker. I did play the original GameCube version, but never played it all the way through until I got the HD version on Wii U. Trying to think what else I want to talk about this game. Oh, the Phantoms. That was one thing I had a problem. That's one thing I have a problem with. Because in the game, if you run into one, you don't get a game over, but you lose time. And again, the Phantom Hourglass gives you time. You can't pick up additional time, but if you go to a certain floor and don't have enough time, you're screwed. But all in all, Phantom Hourglass is a good game. Would I say it's better than Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker or even Legend of Zelda? I mean, I don't hate it, but just give me Link to the Past or Zelda 2 or any of the 3D Zelda games that came out before Twilight Princess and Twilight Princess any day. But I would definitely try it out, see what you guys think. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I like it, but it's not on par with the original Zelda or Link to the Past. Anyway, keep an eye out for that tier list. It's coming up pretty soon. I've also got tier lists on my channel of Metroid games and Paper Mario games. I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys on the next video.